Hello there and happy Wednesday. I hope you're all good. I am coming on here every day live at the moment because we have got the 5-day challenge running. We're on day 3 and day 3 is all about posture. So I wanted to come on and just explain to you a little bit about why this is important, and it's not just about how you look and aesthetics. Now, you might find that you are struggling with your posture. And you might find that you notice that because of an aesthetic reason. Maybe you feel like your shoulders are rolling forwards. Maybe I used to find this, I'd catch myself in a car door or a shop window or something and just think, oh, why are my shoulders there? I need to roll my shoulders back. Or you'd sit at your desk and think, every now and then think, right, okay, reset, upright now. And then minutes later, you're back where you were. And I think that's one of the things that members of the challenge that is running at the moment have noticed, that very quickly, 20 minutes of Pilates a day can very quickly change how you notice your body, how your sort of awareness of what your body's doing, where you are in space. And so suddenly spending the evening on your phone like this, you might find actually you're starting to really think about getting a bit more height. So you can become aware of your posture because of a way it looks or because of a way it feels. And maybe you're suffering from some back pain. Lower back pain is very common. That's where the lower back is having to do a lot of work, particularly if you're in this kind of forward hunched position. There's a hell of a lot of weight bearing in the lower back. So lower back can take a bit of the brunt of it. It can overwork, and that can cause some problems in the lower back and can cause some tightness and some pain sometimes. Perhaps you're noticing shoulder and neck pain. That's a really common one, and actually something we really addressed in this morning's class was really kind of opening up the chest. And very often people experience pain in their neck and the backs of their shoulders, and that's often a postural issue because it usually means that they are using the muscles in the neck and the upper back to hold them up. So perhaps the core isn't as strong as it could be, not functioning as well as it could be, not as effective and responsive as it could be. And so therefore the shoulders and the neck are doing quite a lot to support you. And that can be really compounded by a day at a desk or spending lots of time in that sort of forward position. So you might find that you are experiencing headaches. That can also be a sign of tension. You might find that you are finding some breathing difficulties. Maybe you just can't catch your breath, or when you're doing your workouts, you're finding that you're running out of breath really quickly. And again, that can be an effect of this rounded posture, that everything's a bit tight here and you're just not able to expand the lungs and rib cage as much as you should be. And all of this can be really exaggerated during menopause, because during menopause you have a reducing muscle mass, which means that some muscles are going to be working really, really hard where the other muscles are depleting a little bit. So it means that the ones that are switched on and doing the work are having to work even harder because their support structure is less. So really, really common in menopause. And I very often find that this is the point in women's lives where they suddenly go, I've been at a desk for 20 years, but suddenly it's now catching up with me. And that can just be a catch-up effect, or it can be a mixture of the two. It can be an effect of menopause. So what do you do about it? Well, the process I take people down is a process of strengthening and stretching. So it's not enough just to stretch. And I think this is the misconception that people always have, is that if they're injured, they need to stretch. And yes, you do need to stretch because you need to release the muscles that are tight and that are doing all the work. But there is no point stretching unless you've got something to hold you in that position. So you don't want to stretch a muscle out and then just kind of leave it there, because there's no opposing muscle there to support it. So you're going to stretch it and it's just going to come back. So every time you roll those shoulders back and you sit up tall, that's what's happening. The muscles that are tight are just rolling you back forwards again. So to be able to counteract that, you need to roll those shoulders back, yes, open here, yes, stretch through here, but also strengthen the opposing groups, which are in the upper back. So you need to then open, and then those upper back muscles go, okay, this is us, this is our opportunity, we switch on now, and then they hold you open. So this becomes less likely to shorten and tighten. So it's a strengthening and a stretching routine. Very often we need to take it right back to the core, because this is something I see in ladies a lot, is this coat hanger effect, where you are holding yourself up from here. So your core isn't doing as much as it should be. So strengthening the core, making sure that your trunk, the muscles that support your trunk, which is this core cylinder, are working really, really effectively, efficiently, and as a team. So often people do core work and they just do 100 sit-ups and think, excellent, done core for today. But actually core is deeper than that. The sit-up muscles are fairly superficial, really. Unless they're working with the team of the other core muscles, they're not going to do anything for your posture. They're not going to strengthen you. They're just going to flex you. That's their movement. It's just to bring you forwards. So those kind of 6-pack goals are great from an aesthetic perspective. And I'd never say don't go for it, because why not? You can have both. But unless you're doing the deep core training as well, the stuff that's going to support your spine and pull you in and hold you up, having a 6-pack is absolutely no sign of having a strong core. So you need to do all of that. And that happened this morning in our session. So you can still access that if you want to go to the challenge. The session is saved in there now. You can still access that, and you have access to that until the end of the month. The thing with posture, and the thing I find with Pilates, is posture is usually not the thing that brings people to Pilates. Usually I find people come to me because they either have aesthetic goals or they are injured and they're in pain. And the pain is the point of needing to get some help. Good morning, people, as you're joining. So pain is usually the moment where people go, okay, I actually need to do something about this now because it's not going away on its own. So that's usually why people come. But what I find, and what I did find in the past, my history with Pilates, was that I started Pilates for a knee injury. I was running a lot and had a knee injury. And I kind of knew that I probably wasn't that balanced. I was about 24 at the time, and I probably was a bit tight, and I wasn't stretching. I wasn't doing any other kind of strength work other than just, chucking myself around a gym every now and then. But I went for this knee injury. Not only has the knee injury never come back, and it was an injury that was nagging. It kept coming back. Every time I did too much, it kept coming back. Since that, it has never come back. I've never had it again, and I've done lots of running since that. It's never been an issue. But not only that, so I came for that reason, but the results I got were far further reaching than that. So I often say to people, you come to Pilates for the abs, but you stay for the feeling. And for me, it was one day sitting in my granddad's kitchen with my uncle having breakfast at a table, and him saying to me, "Why are you sitting like that?" And I said, I don't know what you mean. What's happening? And suddenly everyone was looking at me, and I can remember them saying, "Why are you sitting so tall? Why are you upright?" And I had no idea I was doing it. It was completely unintentional. It was just my body had learnt how to support me. I'd been putting in the time in the Pilates studio, and just a couple of times a week going in, doing my thing, and gradually my body was responding, and it was holding me up in a way that even I didn't know was happening, and also I didn't even know I needed. So it was an amazing moment for me, because it was probably the moment where I thought, okay, not only did I come for a different reason, and this is a happy outcome, but also it made me feel confident, and I thought, oh good, that's really nice. And that feeling really stayed with me. And also that knowledge that not only can these things change quite quickly and you can get results quite fast with Pilates, it's very efficient, but also I'm benefiting in ways that even I didn't know I needed or wanted. And that was really a game changer for me, because it made me start to move my body in a way that made me feel better, rather than punishing myself or feeling guilty or hating the way I looked, it was starting to, okay, this makes me feel really good. This is doing really good things for my health, for my my body and my self-esteem. And that's what we now do in Thrive, in the membership, is I create sessions that I know will benefit you. They're varied and they target different areas, and they're very, very carefully put together and tailored so that in a week you cover specific areas. The calendar is there because it helps to avoid decision fatigue. So you just turn up, press play and go. And someone said to me yesterday, the great thing about yesterday's session was that it was a session I would never normally do. I hate doing stuff like that and I'd never normally do it. So it just made me do it, and I know I need to do it. So that's what we try and do in Thrive, is keep you coming because it makes you feel great about your body. It future-proofs your body. It's going to make you feel strong and energized and positive. And it's encouraging. You know where you want to get to. You can see where you want to get to in some of the exercises we cover. But there are modifications to get you there. We're never at any point saying this is where you need to be. We're always going to be saying these are the options. These are the things that you can do. This is how it will benefit you. And this is why you shouldn't push yourself to do the thing that you see on Instagram that everyone's doing. It's about knowing and understanding your body, what's best for you, and working with that, and really, really honouring your body to build strength, build flexibility, build mobility, but just take it a day at a time, knowing that those results, because it's so efficient, those results will come fast. You will notice changes really quickly. So Thrive doors are open. We open just a couple of times a year. And on Sunday I'll be closing the doors again for the rest of the year. So if you'd like to join me, if you'd like to try it, I'd really encourage you to give it a go, because it's £13 a month and you get such a lot of value for that. But not only that, you get value that you will use, that you will benefit from. It's not just going to sit there in your inbox not being used. You will use it because you will notice the changes. So I really encourage you to join me. I'd love to see you on the inside. I've got a little wall of post-it notes of all my lovely ladies that are joining already today. And I will see you soon. Thanks for joining. Thanks everyone that's here live. And I will see you really soon. Take care.